Welcome. The topic we'll be discussing in this lecture is quicksort. So quicksort is the fastest sorting algorithm available, and this sorting technique was developed by a scientist, computer scientist by name C.A.R. Hoare, and he developed it in the year 1959. And this algorithm is also called as divide and conquer algorithm. So in data structures, there is a class of algorithms called as divide and conquer algorithms where a big problem is divided into several small problem and then it is solved. So quicksort also comes in that category. That is, we given a list, we partition the list into several small partitions, and then we sort every individual partition. Okay. So because of that, uh, it is also called as so quicksort comes under divide and conquer programming. And quicksort is otherwise called as partition exchange sort, because here we are going to partition the list into several sub lists, and then we will be doing some kind of swapping. So swapping is nothing but exchange. So we are going to do two things. We are going given a list, we are going to divide the list into several small lists, and then depending on the requirement we are going to do some swapping. So it is called as partition, it is otherwise called as partition exchange sort, and it comes under a group of algorithms or a class of algorithms which is called as divide and conquer algorithms. And the worst case time complexity of quicksort is order of n square, and the best case and average case time complexity of quicksort is order of n log n. Okay, so with this introduction, let us get into the algorithm. Let us see how this algorithm is going to work. So before discussing the actual example, let me first try to explain the overall concept. See, given a list of elements, say for example, something like this. Say the list contains uh, some set of elements. Okay, the list contains some set of elements. Okay. Now the first element, the algorithm, what it will do in the sense, the algorithm will pick up one of the element as the pivot element. We call it as pivot element. The algorithm will pick up one of the element from the list or the array as the pivot element. Now this pivot element, you can pick up anything as pivot element. You can pick up the first element or second element or third element or n minus 1th element. I mean, if you start from 0, you let us assume the array starts with 0 to n minus 1. So any element can be picked up as a pivot element. Okay, that's not an issue. But let us assume that for consistency purpose, let us assume that we always take the 0th element as the pivot element. Okay, now you take the pivot element and you have to compare these with all other elements in this array. Okay, then if an element is less than the pivot element, then move it before pivot element. Okay, if element is less than the pivot element, then move it before the pivot element in the array. If an element is greater than the pivot element, then it should come after the pivot element. Okay, this is the core logic. So first we are going to fix this 0th element as the pivot element, and we are going to check the entire array whether is there any element less than or equal to, not only less than, is there any element less than or equal to the pivot element. Move all such elements to the left of the pivot element. Okay, and if there is any element which is greater than the pivot element, make sure that that element lies after the pivot element. So when you perform one such iteration, one such full iteration, what you will get in the sense, this, say this element initially, what is our pivot element is x. Okay, x. So after one iteration, x will come somewhere here. X will come somewhere here, such a way that the element before x, the element before x will be less than or equal to x, and the element after x will be, surely it will be greater than x. Okay, so now what happened in the sense, after one iteration x has arrived in its correct position. Now this element is in its right position. Okay, we don't know about the element before x. Okay, the one thing we know, the element before x or surely less than x, that much we know, but that doesn't mean that they are in sorted order. No, we don't know that. Okay, similarly the element after x are surely greater than x, but again this may not be in the sorted order. So after one full iteration, what has happened in the sense, this x has come to the right position. Now once again what you have to do is, you have to fix this element as the, now you have to, now we are going to partition this array into two arrays. Now we will consider this as one array. Okay, now we'll consider this as one first array. Okay, this as first array, or this as another array, second array. Now we will partition the array into two. This is array 1 and this is array 2. From array 1 we will take, again we'll consider the first element as the pivot element. Say this is y, this is y. Okay, and array, and this array we will assume it is ending here. This is the last location of this list. Okay, we partition the list into two. So this is the last location of this particular list. Okay, so up to here only we will check, right? So now again what we will check, is there any element which is less than or equal to y from here to up to here. Okay, if there is any such element, then move it before y. Okay, similarly if there is any element which is greater than y, it should come after y. So once you do that, what you will get in this first array, again this y will come somewhere here. After one full iteration, y will come somewhere here, such a way that all these elements will be less than or equal to y. All these elements will be less than or equal to y, and all these elements will be greater than y. Okay. Similarly, we will apply the same logic for the right side of this full array also. So now we will consider after x plus 1th location. So if x is in ith location or jth location, then j plus 1th location, from this location onwards we consider till the end. So this element we will consider as the pivot element. Let us assume this is z, and we will go up to the end of the array. Now we will try to identify what are the elements here which is less than or equal to z. If it is less than or equal to z, then we will try to move it to the left of z in the second array. Okay, now this is a separate array. Similarly, if there is any element which is greater than z, we will try to move it to the right of z. So at the end of that, what will happen? We will get z somewhere here. Okay, and the element which is less than or equal to, these will be surely the element which is less than or equal to z, and these will be surely the elements which is greater than or greater than z. Okay, keep continuing this process. Keep continuing this process until you reach one element. Okay, again apply this for this partition. Okay, again apply this for this partition, apply this for this partition, apply this for this partition, until how long you should do? Until a partition contains only one element. If a partition is having only one element, then you cannot compare that with anything else, right? It means it is already in the correct position. So like that you keep continuing. So finally, when the partition contains only one element, stop the comparison. Okay, so this is the overall logic of quicksort. Okay, now let us see how it is going to work with an example. Okay, so fine. So this is let us take this particular example. So this is the unsorted array. Okay, 26, 5, 37, 1, 61, 11, 59, 15, 48, 19. So these are the elements we want to sort. So this is the starting location of the array 0, and the ending location of the array is 9. Okay, let us assume the array name as R. So this R represents the array name. Array name is R. So R of 0 contains 26, 1 contains 5, 2 contains 37, so on and so forth, up to R of 9 contains 19. There are totally how many elements? 10 elements. Now there is only one partition. So that is what this flower bracket represents. Now there is only one partition. Okay, First, what should you do? First, we should fix the pivot element. So the first element, that is the element at the 0th location, we'll say this is the pivot element. So 26 is the pivot element. Okay. Then what you should do in the sense, we will maintain two pointers. One is called as pointers, in the sense not pointer, it is a indicator, you can say. One is called as start, another one is called as end. Start will point to the initially start will point to the 0th location. Okay, that is start will be equal to 0. It's an integer only. Okay, start is equal to 0 and end will be equal to the last location of the array, that is end will be equal to 9. End will be equal to 9. Okay, now what we are going to do in the sense, this is pivot element is what? 26. Now whatever the element at start location, you check whether this element is less than or equal to pivot element or not. Yeah, the element at start is 26, pivot element is also 26, so it is less than or equal to pivot. So increment start. So when you increment start, now start will point here, that is start will become 1. Again you check this, is this 5 is less than or equal to pivot? Pivot is 26. Is 5 is less than or equal to 26? Yes. So increment start. So now start will point to 2. Okay, so again you check, is the element at start location is 37 is less than or equal to pivot element? Pivot is 26. No, it is greater than. So stop. So stop this process. Okay, so now at this point of time, where at this point of time one minute. Yeah, at this point of time where start is pointing, now start is pointing to where? Now start is pointing to 2. Okay, that is now as of now start contains what? 2. Okay, so you should know, so we should keep knowing what is the value of start and what is the value of end, because the whole algorithm works based on that. So start is 2. Okay, 0 1 2. Now similarly you compare for end, the value at end location, is it greater than or equal, greater than pivot? Greater than. Okay, for start we have to check less than or equal to pivot. For end we have to check only greater than. Is this element is greater than pivot element? No, it's not greater than pivot element. If it is greater than, you have to decrement. Now it's not greater than pivot element because this is 19, pivot element is 26. So we won't decrement and end will remain as it is. End is what? 9. Okay, fine. So this is, so after performing this you have to check. So now end is also stopped and start is also stopped. We cannot increment further, this also we cannot decrement further. Then you have to compare. What you have to compare? You have to check whether start is less than end, not the value, the pointer, where start is pointing to, end is pointing to 9. Okay, we are not talking about the value at that particular array index location, but what start is pointing to which location? Second location of the array. End is pointing to 9th location of the array. Is 2 is less than 9? Yes, 2 is less than 9. So what you should do, now you should swap the element at start location with the element at end location. So these two elements will be swapped. So this will be swapped. Okay, so after the swapping is done, what will happen? So once this swapping is done, here we'll have 19 and here we'll have 37. So this 37 position, in this 37 position we'll have 19, and previously wherever 19 is there we'll get 37. So here this will be 19. Okay, and this will become 37. Okay, right, fine. So instead of start and left, you can also call it left and right. That's what here they are using as left and right. Okay, so now this is the situation. Now again you continue our process. Again you have to continue our process. Now what is the element at start location? 19. Is it less than or equal to pivot? Yes, it's less than or equal to pivot. It's less than pivot. So increment start. Now start will point here. Again you check. Now the element at start location is what? After incrementing, now start is pointing here. That is 3. It is pointing to third location. Now the element is 1. Is it less than or equal to pivot element? Yes, it's less than or equal to pivot, so again increment. So start will point here. Now what is the value here at fourth location? Now start is 4. Now start is 4. What is the value here? 61. Is it less than or equal to pivot element? No, so stop. Okay, so now where start is pointing? Now start is pointing to 4. Okay, at this point of time start contains 4. Similarly you do for end. Now check whatever the value at end location, is it greater than 26? Yes, greater than 26, so decrement end. Now end will become 8. Now end will become 8, no more it is 7. Again you check what is the value at end location, 8th location, it is 48. Is it greater than pivot element? Pivot element is 26. Yes, 46 is greater than 26, so decrement end. So now end will point to 7th location. Okay, again check, is this value is greater than pivot element? Now the value at 7th location is 15, it's not greater than pivot element, so stop. Okay, so now end is pointing to where? Now end is pointing to 7th location and start is pointing to 4th location. Again you compare, is start is less than end? Yes, start is less than end. Start is 4 and end is 7, it is less than, so swap whatever the element at start location, that should be swapped with the element at end location. Okay, so end is 7. Okay, so this element what is here, 15 will come here, so 15 will come here and 61 will come here. Okay, 61 will come here, right? Okay, again continue the process, now the element at start location is what, 15. Is it less than or equal to the pivot element? Pivot is 26. Yes, it's less than or equal to pivot element, so increment start, so start will point to 5. So no more start is pointing to 4, it is pointing to 5. Again check the element at 5th location, is this element is less than or equal to pivot element? Yes, 11 is less than 26, so again increment start. So now start will point to this location, 6th location. Okay, so it's not 5 now start is pointing to 6th location. Okay, start is pointing to 6th location. Is the value at this location, is it greater than or equal to pivot? Sorry, is it less than or equal to pivot? Pivot is 26. No, it's not less than pivot, so stop. Okay, so it's not less than or equal to pivot, so stop. So now at this point of time where start is pointing? Start is pointing to 6. So now start is pointing to 6th location. Okay, similarly do the same process for end. Now end is pointing to 7th location which contains 61. Is this is greater than pivot? Yes, 61 is greater than 26, so decrement end, so end will become 6. Okay, again you check this value, what is this at 6th location, 59. Is it greater than pivot? Yes, it is greater than pivot, pivot is 26, so once again decrement end, so end will point to 5th location. So now you check what is here at 5th location, 11. Is 11 is greater than pivot element? No, pivot element is 26, 11 is not greater than pivot element, so stop. So now end is pointing to where? End is pointing to 5th location. Okay, now end is pointing to 5th location and start is pointing to 6th location. Okay, see here it's the important thing. Now you have to check whether now end is pointing to where? 5th location and start is pointing to 6th location. Now you see, is start is less than end? No, start is not less than end. In the previous two cases when we swapped, start is less than end, so you can swap a of start and b of start, a of start and a of end, that is the element at start location and element at end location can be swapped. But now if you see, start is not less than end, start is greater than end, start is greater than end. Okay, if start is not less than end, if start is not less than end, please understand carefully. If start is not less than end, then what should we do in the sense? The element at end location, now where end is pointing? End is pointing to 5th location, that is 11. End is pointing to 5th location. Okay, the element at end location should be swapped with pivot element. The element at end location is what? 11. This should be swapped with pivot element. What is pivot element? 26. Are you getting? So this 2 will be swapped now. So 11 will come here and 26 will come here. Okay. So that is the reason in the next row you got this 11, 5, 19, 1, 15, 26, 59, 61, 48, 37. Okay, this is one iteration. Okay, this is one iteration. But inside one iteration there are many sub iterations. Okay, so there will be two loops, an outer loop and inner loop. So after the completion of the outer loop this happens. But inside the outer loop there may be several inner loops. Okay, in inner loop swapping happens when start is less than end. Okay, as long as start is less than end, as long as the element at start location is less than or equal to pivot, we will keep incrementing start, and as long as the element at end location is greater than pivot, we will keep decrementing end, and then we will compare start and end. If they are less than, if start is less than end, then we will swap. Okay, so like that we will continue. That is going on in the inner loop, that will be going on in the inner loop. Okay, and the inner loop will come out when start becomes greater than end, or start is not less than end. Okay, either start becomes greater than or equal to end, then it will come out. Okay, if it comes out, then whenever start is greater than end, in that situation we have to swap the element at end location with the element at pivot location. Okay, so now after the completion of the first iteration, what has happened, this previously what is our pivot element? 26. This 26 has now arrived at the correct location of the array. So this is what has happened. 26 has now 26 is now in the correct location. Are you getting? 26 is now in the right location. Okay, now we divide this entire array into two partitions. This is one partition, this is another partition. The left side of 26 is one partition, the right side of 26 is another partition, and again we apply the same logic. Okay, so now what will happen? Now what is pivot? Okay, so let me delete all these things. Now pivot will be 11. Okay, this will be pivot, this will be the pivot. Okay, and initially what will be start? So first let us see the left side of 26 part. Okay, so what will be start? Initially start will be 0. Okay, that is start will be pointing to this, wherever 11 is there, that location it will be pointing. Okay, and where end will be pointing? End will be pointing to, now we are talking only about the left side of 26. Okay, so this end will be pointing to 15, that is 4. Okay, this location is what? Fourth location. Okay, so that's what here they have mentioned, left as 0, right as 4. Okay, instead of left and right we are calling as what? Start and end. Okay, either way, so that is just a naming, right? Now again start the process. So check, is the element at start location, is it less than or equal to pivot? Yes, 11 is equal to pivot, so increment start. So now start will point here. So now start will point here. Is this element is less than or equal to pivot? Yes, 5 is less than pivot, so increment start. Is this element is less than pivot? Pivot is 11, this is 19. No, 19 is not less than 11, so it will start. So now start will point to which location? Now start is pointing to second location. Okay, so as of now start is pointing to the second location. Okay, similarly do for end. So end contains the location, the value at end location is 15. Is this is greater than pivot element? Pivot is 11. Okay, pivot is 11. Is this is greater than pivot element? Yes, it is greater than pivot element. So decrement end. So end will point to third location. The element at third location is 1. Is this is greater than pivot element? No, it's not greater than pivot element. So stop. So end will point to where? End will point to 3. Previously end is pointing to 4, now end is pointing to 3. Okay, so now again you check whether start is less than end. Yes, start is less than end. Start is 2 and end is 3. If start is less than end, then what should we do? Just swap the element at start location and the element at end location. These two will be swapped. So 1 will come here. Okay, so 1 will come here and 19 will come here. Okay, previously wherever 19 there we'll have 1, and previously wherever 1 there we'll have 19. Okay, fine. Now again continue. Now continue the process from where we left out. So now start is now the element at start location is what? 1. Okay, after swapping the element at start location is 1. Is this is less than or equal to pivot element? Yes. So increment start. So start will point here. Now start will point to the third location. Okay, start is now pointing to the third location. The element at third location, is it less than or equal to pivot? No, the element is 19. It's not less than pivot. Okay, so at this point of time, where start is pointing? Start is pointing to 3. Okay, now continue for end. So end is pointing to 3. Is this element is greater than end? Is this element, is it is this element, the element at end location, is it greater than pivot? Pivot is 11. Yes, 19 is greater than 11. So decrement it. Okay, so when you decrement it, what will happen? Now end will point here. End will point to this location, that is 2. So end is 2. Okay, again check. Now the element at end location is 1. Is this is greater than pivot element? Pivot element is 11. No, 1 is not greater than pivot element, so it will stop. So now where end is pointing? Now end is pointing to second location. Okay, so now again you compare. Is start is less than end? No, start is not less than end. Start is greater than end. If start is greater than end, then what should we do? As long as start is less than end, whenever start is less than end, and if the incrementing and decrementing process stops, we will swap the element at start location and the element at end location. But if start is greater than end, in that case, what should we do? The element at end location should be swapped with the pivot element. So what is the element at end location? End is 2. The element at end location is 1. This should be swapped with the pivot element. Pivot element is 11. Okay, so 11 will come here. So here we'll have 11, and previously here we had 1. So this 1 will come here. Okay, so this is the end of the second iteration. So now we are seeing only this left side of 26. Okay, so you see 1, 5, 11, 19 and 15. Okay, so now what happened? 11 is at the correct position. Now 11 is at the correct position. Okay, now 11 is at the correct position. Okay, similarly again we apply the same logic for the left side of 11. Okay, now you apply the same logic for the left side of 11. So left side of 11 is what? Only there are 2 elements. So pivot is this. This is pivot. 1 is pivot. So pivot is equal to 1. Pivot is equal to 1, and start will be what? 0, as usual, 0, 0th location. Start is pointing here, and where end is pointing? Where end is pointing? Yeah, it's 1 level high. I'm not drawing correctly. This one, right? So pivot is 1. Okay, and start is pointing here, that is to the first location. Okay, right, sorry, start is pointing to the 0th location. Start is pointing to the 0th location. Start is supposed to point to the 0th location, so start is pointing to 0th location. And where end is pointing? End is pointing to the first location, because now the list contains only 2 elements. So end is pointing to the first location. Okay, so end is equal to 1, start is equal to 0. Okay, pivot is equal to 1. This is the value. Okay, pivot is pointing to pivot will hold the value. Okay, it contains the value at the 0th location. Okay, right. Now again start the process. The value at start location, is it less than or equal to pivot? Yes, 1 is equal to 1. Pivot is 1. So increment start. So start will become what? 1. Start will become 1 and start will point here. Okay. So now start is pointing to 1, first location. Okay. Again check. The value at start location, is it less than or equal to pivot? No. Now the value at start location is 5. 5 is not less than 1. So it will stop. Okay. So the process will, incrementing start will stop here. Okay. Incrementing start will stop here. Okay. Right. Next, come for end. Is the element pointed by end, is it greater than pivot? Yes, 5 is greater than pivot. So decrement end. So end will come here. End will point to 0th location. Okay, again you check. Is the element at end location, is it greater than pivot? Is 1 is greater than 1? No, it's not greater than 1. So it will stop. Okay. So now where start is pointing and where end is pointing? Now start is 1 and end is 0. Is start less than end? No, start is not less than end. Start is greater than end. If start is greater than end, then what should we do? The element at end location should be replaced with pivot element. But what is the element at end location? 1. And what is pivot element? Both are same. Both are same. So there is no point in exchanging or swapping. Even if you swap, it will remain the same. Okay. So this is already sorted. So it has happened like that. Okay. So now what happened after this? 1 is in the correct position, 5 is in the correct position, 11 is also in the correct position. Okay, right? Okay, fine. So similarly we can do for other pods also. Similarly we can do for other pods. Okay, say for example this 1915 also we can work out like that. If you take 1915, what is the start and end? So pivot is what? 3. This is 19. 19 is the pivot. So this is pivot. This value 19 is the pivot. Okay. At this point, what is start? Start is 3. At this point, start is 3. Start is equal to 3, third location of the array. And what is end? This is 4. End is 4. Okay. This is arrow. End is 4. Okay. Sorry. End is equal to 4. This is start. Yeah. Start is equal to 3. Okay. So now you check again start. The element at start location, is it less than or equal to pivot? The element at start location is 19. Yes, it's less than pivot. It's equal to pivot. So increment start. So start will now point here. Okay, that is start is not pointing to 3, it will point to 4th location. Again you check, is this element is less than or equal to pivot element? Pivot is 19. Yes, it's less than pivot. So increment. Okay, so when you increment, it becomes what? 5. It becomes 5. Okay, the element at 5th location is what? 26. Is it less than pivot element? No, it's not less than pivot element. Pivot element is 19. This is 26. So stop. Similarly, start for end. Okay, the element at end location is what? The element at end location is 15. Is it greater than pivot element? No, it's not greater than pivot element, because pivot element is 19, this is 15, so it's not greater than pivot element. Okay, so it won't decrement. So now where start is pointing and where end is pointing? Start is pointing to 5. Okay, start is pointing to 5 and end is pointing to 4. So again you check whether start is less than end. No, start is not less than end, start is greater than end. In this case, what should we do? End, the value at end location should be swapped with the pivot element. So value at end location is what? 15. That should be swapped with pivot element. Okay. So what will happen? 15 will come here and 19 will come here. Okay. So as a result, we got this. Now this part is also swapped. So now this entire left side is got swapped. Now the entire left side up to 26 got ordered. Okay. Similarly, we should do for the right side part also. Okay. Right. So when you do for the right side part, what will happen? What will be the, I mean, so this entire thing we have to consider. Okay. So what should be left and what should be right initially? So if you take this will be pivot, right? So pivot is what? 59. Okay, this is pivot. This is this is nothing but pivot. Okay, and this and start is pointing to where? Start is pointing to 6 and end is pointing to 9. End is pointing to 9. Okay, so start is 6 and end is 9. Okay, fine. Right. So again, what should we do? Again, start the process. The element at start location, is it less than or equal to pivot? Yes, the element at start location is 59. It's equal to pivot element, which is 59. So increment start. So start will become what? 7. Start will become 7. Now the element at start location is what? 61. 61. Is it less than or equal? Is it less than or equal to pivot element? No, 61 is greater than pivot element, which is 59. So stop. So start is 7. Similarly, do for end. The element at end location 37, is it greater than pivot element? No, 37 is not greater than pivot element. If it is not greater than pivot element, if it is not greater than pivot element, it won't decrement. Okay. So now end is 9 and start is 7. Again check, is start less than end? Yes, start is less than end. So what should we do? Swap. So swap the element at start location with the element at the end location. So this 59 will be replaced with what? 37, and this 37 will be replaced with 59. Okay. Now continue the process. This is 37. Okay, this is 37. Is the element at what you call start location? Sorry, I have replaced wrongly. The element at start location is what? 1 minute. I'm sorry. So start is what? 7. The element at 7th location should be replaced with the element at the 9th location. Okay. 7th location element is what? 61. So 61 will be replaced with 37. Okay. 61 will be swapped with 37. So this 61 will become 37 because start is 7, end is 9. And this 37 will become 61. Okay. So yeah. So 37, this will become 61. Okay. So that is the swap happened. Okay. Again continue. Now check, is the element at start location? Is the element at okay, I'm doing here. Let us do here 37 and 61. Okay. Now again check, is the element at start location, is it less than or equal to the pivot element? Pivot element is 59. Currently start is 7. The element at 7th location, yeah, it is 37. It's less than pivot element, which is 59. Okay. So increment start. So start will become what? Previously it is 7. Now it will become 8. Okay. So this is start now. Again continue. Again continue. Is the element at start location, is it less than or equal to pivot element? Yes. 48 is less than 59. So increment start. So start will become 9. Okay. Now what is at 9th location? 61. Is the element at start location? Is it less than pivot element? No, 61 is not less than pivot element, which is 59. So stop the process. Now continue for the end location. Is the element at end location, is it greater than the pivot element? Element at end is 9. Ninth location is 61. Yes, it is greater than the pivot element, which is 59. So decrement end. So end becomes 8. Now again, is the element at end location, that is 8th location, is it greater than pivot element? The element at 8th location is 48. Pivot element is 59. No, it's not greater than, so it will stop. Okay, so now the algorithm has stopped when ST is 9 and when start is 9 and end is 8. So again you check, is start is less than end or not? No, start is not less than end, start is greater than end. Okay, because start is what? 9. If start is greater than end, then what should we do? If start is greater than end, then the element at end location, end is what? 8, 8, this is end. Okay, the element at end location should be swapped with the pivot element. Okay, so this will become what? 59. This will become 59 and this will become 48. Okay, so that is how you got here. This will become 59 and this is 49. Okay, 48. Okay, so that is how we got here. So after this, what happened is 59 has come at the right position. 59 has come at the right position. Okay, so now now this is the left part of 59 and this is the right part of 59. The right part of 59 already contains only one element, so it will be in the correct position. So we need not bother. Only we have to check the left side. Okay, so if you take this 48 and 37, now again we have to apply the logic. Okay, now what is pivot element? Now pivot element is 48. This is the pivot element. 48 is the pivot element. And what is start? Start is equal to 6. And what is end? End is equal to this 7. Okay, again you start the process. The element at start location, is it less than or equal to pivot element? Both are same. Element at start location is 46, pivot 48, pivot element is also 48. They are equal, less than or equal. So increment start. So start will become what? 7. Again check, is the element at start location, is it less than or equal to pivot element? The element at start location is 37. Yes, it is less than the pivot element, which is 48. So increment start. So it will become 8. Is the now this is 59. Is the element at start location, is it less than the pivot element? The element at start location is now 59, whereas pivot element is 48. It's not less than, it's greater than. So it will stop. Okay. Now do the end for the end pointer. So now end is pointing to 7th location. Is the element at end location, is it greater than the pivot element? Element at end position is 37. 37 is not greater than pivot element because pivot element is 48. So it won't continue further, right? So now the algorithm has stopped here. Now we have to check whether start is less than end. Start is not less than end. Start is 8 and end is 7. Start is greater than end. Okay, as if start is less than end, we can directly swap the the element at start location and the element at end location. But now start is greater than end. In this case, what should we do? The element at end location should be swapped with the pivot element. What is the element? End location is 7. So the element at end location is this 37. This should be swapped with the pivot element, which is 48. So when you swap this, what will happen? This will become 37. So in this position, that is in 6th position, we will get 37 and here we will get 48. So that we got this. Okay, 37 and 48, right? Fine. So now I think the algorithm has converged. Now the algorithm has converged, and so after this, what has happened? only we have 61 left out. Okay, but if you see 61, its start is also, its pivot is 61, start will be also 9 and end also will be 9. In that case there is only one element. Okay, so now everywhere there is only one element, so the algorithm will stop. Okay, so this is how the principle of quick sort works. Okay, now let us see how to implement this. Let us see how to implement this. So with our understanding, we are partitioning the, what you call, we are partitioning the array at every iteration. Okay, so we'll have a function called partition. Okay, we are not literally partitioning. Actually, we are manipulating as if the array is partitioned. Okay, so we will maintain a function called partition, which will take two variables as argument. Okay, so let us say that they are lower bound and upper bound. Okay, int lower bound and int upper bound, which is nothing but start and end. Okay, which is nothing but start and end. And inside, what we will do, first we have to identify the pivot element. So pivot is equal to, let us say the array name is A, so A of LB, the whatever the lower bound contains, that is the pivot element. Okay, and then start will be whatever the lower bound, that is start, and end will be whatever the upper bound, that is end. Okay, then what should we do? As long as the element at the start location is less than or equal to the pivot element, we will keep incrementing start. So while a of start, that is the element at start location, is less than or equal to pivot, less than or equal to the pivot element, what should we do? We should increment start. So start plus plus. Okay, right. Similarly, we will write another logic. While similarly for end, what should we do? As long as the element at end location is greater than pivot element, we will decrement end. So while a of end greater than pivot, what should we do? Decrement end minus minus. Okay, so this while loop contains only one statement, this while loop contains only one statement. So after coming out of these two while loops, we have to check. What should we check? If start, okay, if start less than end, then swap. Okay, then swap, what should we swap? Then swap a of start, the element at a of start location and a of end location. Okay, so but this whole process we should do again and again. How long we should do? Until start is less than end we should do. Okay, so here we will write what we will write in the sense, another while loop, while start less than end. As long as start is less than end, we will repeat this. We will keep on repeat this, and we will be swapping the element at start location with the element at the end location. Okay, so the control will come out of this outer while loop when the start element, when start becomes greater than or equal to end. Okay, in that case, what should we do? In that case, the element at end location should be swapped with pivot element. Okay, am I right? In that case, the element at end location should be swapped with the pivot element. Okay, but here you cannot give pivot, you should give a of LB, so that we are maintaining LB separately and start end separately. Okay, because pivot is just a value. Okay, but pivot is again that LB we are storing in another variable, right? But actually the array location should be both should be swapped. I mean, whatever the value at pivot location, pivot contains the value at LB location, so that value should be swapped with the element at end location. Okay, so this is the core logic of quicksort. Okay, now again, this is quicksort. At the top there is insertion sort. Okay, This is quicksort logic. So this function alone is not sufficient. We should call this partition somewhere else. Actually, this should be done recursively. So if you have observed what we did, this can be done using recursion easily, right? So initially this 26 came at the correct position. Then we are applying the logic on the left part of 26, and then we are applying the logic on the right part of 26. Okay, then 11 comes at the right position. Then we again apply the logic on the left of 11. Then we apply the logic on the right of 11. Okay, similarly here again 59 comes at the right position. Then we apply the logic to the left of 59, and then we apply the logic to the right of 59, so on and so forth, until there are only one partition, and until each partition contains one element is left out. Okay, so we'll be writing one more function. Okay, say this function, not only that, after swapping it will return end. It will return currently where end is, what is end is pointing, that it will return. Okay, so it returns an integer value. Fine. Okay, because that why it is returning in end, in the sense it returns the end pointer. Okay, so the element at end location is already in the correct location. Okay, so after first iteration, if you see, after first iteration, end will be this 5. Okay, which means the element at end location has arrived at the correct location. Okay, fine. So now we'll write another function called void quicksort. Okay, again this also takes two arguments, say LB and UB, upper bound and lower bound. Here we check, here we declare a variable called position. Here if LB is less than UB, only if LB is less than UB, we will do this. What we will do, position equal to, from here we'll call the partition logic, partition of LB comma UB. Okay, now this will perform. So once you call this position equal to partition of LB comma UB, that will call the partition algorithm and it will do this. Okay, so yeah, so when you call partition for the first time, what happens, in the sense it will return, it will divide the array into two parts. I mean it will ensure that the first pivot element, whatever initially we considered as the pivot element, that will appear at the right place. Okay, that is this 26 will come in its right position. Okay, the 26 will come in its right position. Okay, so this is what, so now 26 position is what, 5. So this is what it is going to return. So the partition is going to return this 5. Okay, so that is what we are getting in position, right? Now again what should we do? Once again we should call quicksort. Once again, so recursively we should call quicksort. Now we will call quicksort with what? One to the left of position and one to the right of position. Okay, left of position starting point will be LB. Its ending point will be what? Position minus 1. Because the element at position location is already in the correct location. Okay. Similarly, so this is for the left partition of position. Similarly, for the right partition of position also we will call quicksort of, again what should we call? Position plus 1 comma UB, upper bound. Okay. So this is the core logic. Okay, this quicksort function we will call from the main function. So we'll have main function, there we will ask, take the input, we will declare the array, or take user input for the array, all those things, or array you can declare globally also. We'll take user input and then whatever it may be, take input, and first say the array contains 10 element, then here we will call quicksort of 0 comma 9, because the array contains 10 element. Okay, so the lower bound is 0 and upper bound is 9, so that will call this. Again it will call partition. So Once partition is first called, what will happen? The first element, the first pivot element will come in the right position. Then do that for the left side of the positioned element, and similarly do that for the right side of the positioned element, and continuously do that in a recursively fashion. Okay, so let me show you the code. So whatever we have discussed, that code is written here. So here I am declaring the array globally, a of 100, and n number of elements in the array also declared here globally. And this is the function swap. For swapping here, what I am assuming in the sense, only the location will be paused. Array is not paused, only because array we are using global array, only the location will be paused, which means that the element at xth location should be swapped with the element at yth location. Okay, right? If x is 2 and y is 5, it means that a of 2 should be swapped with a of 5. Okay, so here what we are doing, this is the normal swap logic. Int t equal to a of x equal to a of y, and a of y is equal to 2, because a is a global array. And this is a print function which is used to print the entire array after sorting. And this is the partition logic what we have just discussed. Int partition, int lb comma int ub. Okay, lower bound, upper bound. Int pivot is equal to array of lb, st is equal to lb, and end is equal to ub. Okay, while st less than end is same as whatever we have discussed, and inside that, while a of st less than or equal to pivot, and st less than or equal to n minus 1. Why we are doing? Because see, array has a limit, right? Our array here, n represents the number of elements. So if number of element is 10, then st can go only up to 9. It should not go beyond that. Okay, otherwise there will be some garbage value and it may create some unnecessary issues. Okay, so that the array limit, to ensure that st is not going beyond the array limit, we are adding this, and st less than or equal to n minus 1, because st we are going to increment, it may go beyond n minus 1 also, so maximum it can go up to n minus 1. Okay, similarly for end, while a of end greater than pivot and end greater than or equal to 0, so end we are decrementing, it can go up to 0. If you don't give this condition, it may become minus 1 also. So to avoid that, we ensure that as long as end is greater than or equal to 0, we do this. Okay, so this may not be required. After this, I am displaying this st and end position. Then we check if st is less than end. If st is less than end, then what should we do? Then swap the element at st location with the element at end location. So we are calling the swap. We are just pausing the location, that will take care of swapping. Okay, so this will continue this thing. After coming out, so this will come out only if st is greater than or equal to end, that is if start is greater than or equal to end. In this case, what should we do? We should swap the pivot element with the end element. What is pivot element? Pivot element is nothing but the element at lower bound. Lower bound we have not touched, it is whatever came, the same thing. Okay, only st and end we are updating. So the element at lb is nothing but the pivot element. Pivot element should be swapped with the element at end location. So swap, here what we are doing, swap pivot with element at end location. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. Okay, so after swapping, if you this printing is not required. Okay, after swapping, what we should do, we are returning end, because now one element, previously whatever the pivot element, that has come at the right position, and that position is what? End. Okay, so that is returned to that will be returned to the quicksort function. Here from quicksort only we are going to call this partition logic. So this is the logic for quicksort, void quicksort int lb comma int ub, and this is position. Here we check if lb is less than ub, then we say position equal to partition of lb comma ub. Now we got the position value for the first pivot element. So now we have to apply quicksort for the left of the position, and also we have to apply quicksort for the right of the position. Okay, so again we call quicksort of lb comma position minus 1, and again we call quicksort of position plus 1 comma ub. Okay, and this is the main function. Here we are declaring I. We are asking the user to enter the number of elements. It's read in n. We are asking the user to enter the elements, that is read in the array A of I. Okay, and then we are displaying the elements just to verify. Okay, but instead we can call this print. Already I have written a print function. We can call that. This logic is not required. And then we are calling quicksort. Then call the quicksort with LB0 and UB as n minus 1. Then after quicksort, again you just print to verify that the output is coming in the proper way. Okay. So let me compile. So GCC quick.c -o quick /quick. Number of elements 10. Elements say 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10. Okay, this is before calling the quicksort. It's the same whatever the input. This is after calling the quicksort. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, right? So that's it about quicksort. So if you see, it's what you call, we have discussed that its worst case time complexity is order of uh, order of n square, and its average case and best case time complexity is order of n log n. Okay, the reason is assume that the quicksort algorithm, whatever, say the quicksort contains 16 elements. Okay, so after first iteration, what will happen? This list will be divided into two sublists. That is, one element will be correctly positioned. Now again you have to apply quicksort for the left of one element and the right of one element. Let us assume the array is divided into two equal half. Okay, so now here we will have what? This is 8, the element at 8th location. Okay, or the so if you consider from 0, the array location 0 to 15. Okay, it is 0 to 15. So the element at, say, let us assume the element at 8th location is correctly positioned. Okay, so this is what? 0 to 7, and here we have 9 to 15. Here we have 9 to 15. Okay, again this will be divided into 2. Again this will be divided into 2. Okay, so now this contains what? 8 elements. Okay, right? So say that the 4th element is correctly positioned here, right? Now this will be divided into two parts. One is 0 to 3 and the other one is 5 to 7. Similarly, this side if you see, it is 9 to 15. So there are how many elements? 6 elements. Okay, so let us assume 9th is the first element, 10, 11. Okay, so let us assume the 11th element is correctly positioned. Okay, then to the left, what you have? 9 and 10 you have. To the 11th you have 12 to 15, 12, 13, 14, 15, or let us assume 12 is correctly positioned. So to the left you have 9, 10 and 11. To the right you have 13, 14 and 15. Okay, 13 to 15 you have here. This is 9 to 11, right? Okay, similarly in the next round, if you see here, there are 4 elements, right? 0 to 3 means 4 elements. So let us assume that the second element is correctly positioned. Okay, then here we have 0 to 1. Okay, here we have third element. Okay, right? Similarly here we have 5 to 7, right? So again if you partition, say 6 is correctly positioned, then here we'll have 5 and here we'll have 7. Okay. Similarly here 9 to 11. So say 10 is correctly positioned. Then here we will have 9 and here we will have 11. Okay. So here 14 is correctly positioned. Okay. So here you will have 13. Okay. And here you will have 14. Okay. Right. So here you have what? 0, 0 and 1. Right. 2 is correctly positioned. Previously we thought 0 to 3. Okay. So 0 to 7. So yeah, 4, 0 to 3. Yeah. So again this alone it will come, say 0 to, so 0 and 1 means say 1 is correctly positioned, means then 0 will come here. Okay. Right. So if you see how many times we are say at this level you are accessing how many elements. At this level we are accessing how many elements? 16 elements, 10 elements. Again at this level one element is correctly positioned, so we are accessing n minus 1 element, but you can say it is n element. So here also we are accessing n element, here also we are accessing n element. Okay. At every level we are accessing n element, but how many levels will be there? How many levels? See the number of levels. So this how long we do, how long we continue, in the sense until each partition contains one element, that much time we continue. Okay. So we keep dividing n by 2, n by 2, again divided by 2, again divided by 2, until this becomes equal to 1. Okay. Until it becomes equal to as long as it is not equal to 1, we keep repeating this process. Okay. So basically what we are doing is n by 2 to the power k equal to 1. Okay. We are keep on dividing by 2, right? Some multiple of 2, right? Okay. So if n by 2 to the power k is equal to 1, then we stop. Okay. So basically n is the number of elements, so n is equal to 2 power k. Okay. So what is k? So k is equal to log n to the base 2. So k is equal to log n to the base 2. Okay. So if you represent it as a, I mean we are partitioning at every level, at every time it is partitioned to 2. So if you are representing it as a binary tree, then that tree will have this many levels. Okay. Then if there are n elements, then the tree will have this many levels. Okay. Log n to the base 2 levels. Is it clear? So the tree will have log n to the base 2 levels, and in each level we have to access n elements, and in each level we have to access n elements, so that the worst case time complexity is n log n. Okay. So that is the reason the worst case time complexity is order of n log n. Okay. Right. So let us stop here. So this is about quicksort algorithm. Fine. Thank you.